William Penn once said, "Time is what we want most, but use worst." Time may seem like something that is tangible and is constantly slipping through our fingers. However, this is not the case. This is because we are constantly using it incorrectly and inefficiently. I'm guessing all of us are a little guilty of watching too much Netflix, scrolling through too long through the r/memes page on Reddit, or just refreshing Instagram every 30 seconds to see how many likes our picture got. In this video, I want to take a look at some things that have helped me with time management. These tips I've learned have either come from personal experiences, podcasts, books I've read, or videos I've watched. I hope these provide value to you in some way or another. As usual, the timestamp will be right here as well as in the description if you want to skip to any particular section or just watch it all the way through. Now, my first tip is time tracking. This is something I saw in a Matt Diavella video where he tracks everything he does every 30 minutes for about 3 months. Now, you don't need to do that for 3 months. However, I tried this and did it for a couple days. I made a little template Notion, but you can do this in anything like Google Calendar or Google Sheet. By actively tracking yourself for maybe a couple days, you can see spots where you're wasting a lot of time or time is being wasted and fill that with more useful things that you want to be doing, like flashcards or starting a new language. And by actively tracking, you're getting an accurate representation of what you're doing. So for this, what I'll do is I'll pretty much have my phone with me, on me at all times. And then every 15 minutes or half an hour, I'll just go on my phone and type up what I did into Notion. And then at the end of the day, I would rank how productive I was on that day and put how much screen time I spent on my phone. And this really made me see that I was wasting a lot of time. There are so many spots where I could have done more useful and productive things with my time, but just actively decided not to. And I'm guessing most of us have the same issue. Also, by actively tracking your time, it makes you want to be good and be efficient with your time because you know you're going to write that up at the end of the day. And if you want to take that a step further, you can go ahead and show that to a parent or someone you wouldn't really want seeing that you spent 3 hours on Instagram. Now, tip number 2 is owning your time. So what do I mean by this? The phrase, "I don't have time," should not be in your vocabulary anymore. At any given point, you're doing what you most want to do. It's not that I don't have time to cook. It's just that cooking is not a priority right now. You have time to do pretty much everything you want to do. You're just not prioritizing correctly. So find tasks that you want to start doing or that are important to you and put more priority on them. For example, if you want to start exercising more, put a bit more priority on exercising. This also really helps if you are tracking your time because you can see how much is being wasted and what you could fill in to those wasted spots of time. Now, tip number 3 is Parkinson's law, which states that work expands to fill the time that we allocate to it. So what does that exactly mean? Well, you have definitely come across this before. For example, imagine you have a deadline the next day for an assignment. You are going to work and get that assignment done for the next day. Or if you have an assignment in 2 months, you're probably going to procrastinate and then do it the week before the assignment is due or a couple of days before the assignment is due. So what can we take from this? That we're all really bad at turning in assignments? No. We can take from this that you need to start setting yourself some artificial deadlines for certain tasks. By just giving yourself less time to do something, you're more likely to get that thing done. Now, almost never does more time equate to a better result. So what I like to do is give myself deadlines for making flashcards or doing certain admin work. For example, if I'm planning out some flashcards or scripting out a video, I'll tell myself I need to get this done in the next hour or hour and a half. And generally, I'll tend to get that task done within that time. Now, my 4th tip is batching. I came across this in The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, which is an amazing book. I recommend absolutely everyone to read it. But batching is very simple. The example Tim Ferriss used in his book is that if you get 50 emails a day, wouldn't it just be easier if you do all those emails at 1 point during the day or 2 points during the day, rather than taking 5 minutes out every time you want to answer an email? This saves a lot of time and effort because every time you want to answer an email, send a new email, you have to open the email app, you have to start typing the email, look for the person. If you're just doing it all at once, you're already on the email app, you're already typing emails, you're already in that state of mind. For these videos, they're planned out decently, as I hope is quite apparent. What I like to do is throughout the week, I'll have one day where I start planning out this week's video or this week's video and next week's video. And then I have one day where I'll film 1 or maybe even 2 videos. By batching one, I'm planning 2 videos. I'm already in that state of mind of being creative and ready to film. Another example I use for this is back in lockdown, we used to get schoolwork set every Monday. I'll just get up in the morning at like 8 and just start my schoolwork, do 4 hours, take a break, do 4 hours, take a break, and maybe do an extra hour. So I'll do about 9 hours on Monday, which is a lot. However, then for the rest of the week, I could dedicate my time to other things and start making revision resources for the next year. Now, my 5th tip is productive downtime. I try to use this as much as possible. This just involves being actively as productive as possible. For example, when I would take breaks on my revision, I would just go ahead and listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook. And when I was on the school bus, I would just go through flashcards, or when I was eating in the morning for breakfast just before school, I would go through flashcards. There's all these little random moments of productive downtime. Imagine you're just productive for like 15 minutes while eating breakfast, another like 15 minutes on your commute on the way there, and then 15 minutes on the way back. That's already 45 extra minutes of you being productive. So by actually being productive in your downtime and not scrolling through Netflix the whole time, you can start learning a new language, getting through all your Anki flashcards, or finish Sapiens. The option is yours. I notice a lot of people's default activity when they are in their downtime is just scrolling through social media or watching YouTube. Try to make your default activity something productive and something useful to you. Now we have a little bonus tip. So my bonus tip is to multitask correctly. So a lot of people think, you know, it's really good to have like email open, to be doing your schoolwork, to be messaging people on Instagram. That's not really good because we can't really multitask. Every time you're just switching, it makes you lose focus of the thing you were doing before and switch to the thing you're doing currently. So rather than multitasking incorrectly, you should be focusing on big, more intensive stuff by not doing anything else at the same time. However, you can multitask correctly. For example, I love to listen to podcasts and listen to music while sweeping or cleaning or running errands, and even like to do this while, you know, doing exercise. And that's how you can squeeze just a little bit more productivity out of yourself. I hope these tips help you manage your time correctly and make you just that little bit more efficient. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all my socials, link in the description. Now if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video all about how I've planned my summer revision. Have a productive week.